Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you. It's been a little while since I've done a video. This is always kind of the busy time of the year for me. And although I feel that for the most part I've been very consistent, things might slow down a little bit around this time and around the holidays as I'm going to try to enjoy my life at the same time as building my YouTube channel. But I wanted to respond to some of your comments. I just want to let you know, for those of you that write comments to me, I read every single one of them. And I try to do the best I can to respond to them when I can find the time to do it. Like I said, I had this YouTube channel, run a full-time, I work a full-time job, and then on top of that, I've been running a lot, and I have a lot of activities and hobbies and have a life outside of here, so I try to work as much as I can. Maybe one day I'll just be able to do YouTube, and that kind of really will be a dream. But there'll be periods of time where I can go into things a lot shortly. But I think overall, if you've been happy, if you like these videos where I give you guys comments like we're doing now, I respond to your comments, questions that you've asked, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button because it gives me the feedback to let me know that this is something that I need to continue to keep doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and start reading through some of them, kind of off the top of my head, ones that I thought were good, and just respond as much as I can. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm really excited to go ahead and do it, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is from Christina, which I thought was interesting. This was on the one video that I had on what I think Americans can learn from Swedes, and I'm just going to read her comment because I thought it was really good. This was interesting. As Germans, I think we can learn a lot from the Swedes. For example, to be more inclusive as a society and judge people less by their professions. I like how mellow and PC people are in Sweden, although it can make things harder when there are conflicts to handle. From Americans, we can learn to always see the positive side of things. Every American that I have met so far believes in the fact that you can become whatever you want if you put enough hard effort into it. In Germany, people tend to give up more easily and get stuck in situations that make them unhappy. I wish we could get out of our comfort zone and a bit more and not care about security so much. By making these videos, you're certainly inspiring people to reflect on their values. I think that's great. I think it's important for us. Americans can be positive, that's for sure. And I think at the same time, I think there's plenty of people all around the world sometimes that maybe stay in a situation that they're not happy to be in. I was talking about this with a few people before. So I don't think it would just be Europeans or anything else like that. I think it's difficult to try new things, and be willing to take risks and things like that. And that's for anybody. But I do believe that it is possible to do whatever you want to a certain extent. Maybe not like completely, but it is possible to reach for things. It just takes time. If I ever write a book, for example, I'd probably write a book called like The Marathon Method, where I kind of go into like just details on how just working at something for a long period of time, but starting small and being consistent is going to be really, really helpful. For example, for the most part, I missed a Swedish practice for myself about 2 days ago, but for the most part, I have been practicing Swedish every single day. I've been reading, I missed 2 days of reading this week, which I'm kind of bummed about, but for the last like 6 weeks straight, I've been reading every single day. And I just started running a little bit every day because I was just getting burnt out for doing such long runs. So this is like my 7th or 8th day in a row running about 5 to 6 kilometers every day. So I'm trying all these new challenges. And I applied what I learned through running in general. Like I just think running or running a marathon kind of changes your life. I'm actually wearing an old marathon shirt now. I did this one in 2012, and not in like an annoying kind of way. It's not like I feel like, oh my gosh, yes, go me. I just mean it teaches you the value of doing things little by little. So when I started this YouTube channel, I just figured I just wasn't going to stop for at least a year. I'm coming up on a year in a couple days, and maybe I'll make another video about that. But those are just some things I wanted to share with you. I'm going to read this other one, Scott's, and I've already responded to him, but I wanted to respond on here as well. So this is what he said. And this is again the same video. The tiptoeing going on in this video is almost funny. It seems every video that does any type of criticism of Americans is really amazing to me. What does it say about a country where they promote free speech yet everybody fears backlash of giving objective opinions of it based on their personal experiences? Lol. Well done, Andrew. Based on your videos and my own experiences, it is going to take more people being exposed to other cultures, countries for these changes to happen. The mindset of each country gives insight as to why the culture country does things differently than others. It explains why some things succeed, fail in one country, yet does the opposite in another. I liked his comment, and I'll tell you why. Because I look at his comment in two ways. One, I look at your comment, Scott, and I think to myself, maybe I tiptoe too much around things, but I think it's more, and I responded to him as well. It's more like, as a YouTuber, you're kind of learning about your audience in general. And at least for me, I want to be able to have a discussion with as many people as I can, kind of like in a positive way, and expose them to different ideas without completely turning them off from what I'm saying. So for example, if my idea was to talk to an American person that hasn't left the country, like in general, and say something, if I'm too harsh, then people stop listening. And it's the same if I want to talk about maybe some things I think could be different in Sweden, for example. The same thing, people could turn off a little bit. And I don't want to be able to do that. I want to be able to have the best conversation I could possibly have with both sides. So as a YouTuber, I'm going to evolve. So maybe I will try to be more opinionated about certain things. I'll try to be. But at the same time, I think my style is not to try to alienate people either. And so it's just something I'm learning as a small YouTuber. And I'm sure other people that do YouTube are learning as well what they think is kind of the best way to go about it, really. Now, let's see here. Darla Williams says, "Hey Andrew, as a fellow American living in Sweden, I enjoy your videos. I agree that the consumer mentality is very strong in the US and it's not really a healthy mentality in the long run for individuals and society, Earth as a whole. But the tax on cans and bottles is already implemented in some states in the US. I remember collecting cans after parties at my cousin's in Michigan and cashing them in the next morning to get breakfast." Which I totally want to point out, because America's so big, I'm not going to get every rule with every state. But my point was, you can't just go everywhere. Like we're in Sweden, you go into any grocery store or market and you're going to find this. This is something else I just wanted to share with you. Moving ahead here in our comments. And this has to do with me eating Swedish candies. Ingefära, I think it is ginger. Also, I'm impressed. I usually like to watch non-Swedes, mostly Americans, eat Ljunglever. Oh, I messed that up really bad on YouTube. Hilarious reactions. I myself like Ljunglever a lot. So, interesting as we go through here. M says, "Love this. So funny to see Americans actually enjoying licorice. How long did it take you to acquire the taste? Do you prefer salty or sweet?" Just over time. Every once in a while I would get a bag of candies and then just have kind of the licorice flavor. I got into it. I used to eat a little bit of licorice as a kid, but not to the same extent as here. But it's been okay. And a big thanks again to Feakable for doing that. Smiley Hanky says, "Your videos are awesome. Thanks." You're awesome. Moving ahead here. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can find any more. We're talking about books here. Dahiski says, "When I was a kid in a small town in Sweden in the late 80s, me, my brother, and our two friends would get up early on Sunday mornings and canvass the whole town looking for cans and bottles. Saturdays in the summer were big drinking days for older people, so we would always be able to recycle and get paid 100 crowns each and every weekend during the summer. For 7 to 12 years olds, to have 100 crowns every week in the late 80s were big money. $12 every weekend as a kid was pretty great. Almost $50 a share between us 4 guys." And then finally, Patrick says that, "Thanks, guys. This was interesting. And Andrew, I hope you do more of these." Yeah, I hope I get a chance to do more interviews. I've seen vloggers and things like that sometimes talk about Sweden. If you see anybody that you think I should do a collab with, and you feel free shouting me out to them. That's awesome to do as well. I would really appreciate that. If anyone wants to get in touch with me to share anything, you can always send me a message or something like that as well. I just want to say that I really appreciate everybody here that writes me comments and questions and says really, really good things. This time of the year when it's the darkest and I'm away from my family, sometimes I can be a little bit down. It's been an interesting year with a lot of different kind of challenges and good things and bad things as well. And like I said, I'll go into that in another video. But I just want to thank you for being a part of this and for being here. It looks like we're going to hit 1,000 subscribers probably in the next couple months. And maybe we'll do something fun to celebrate then, and I'll have to start thinking about maybe getting some better equipment here in a little bit. I'm trying to get my brand new computer fixed. This is some things I'll go into in another video. It's fine. But if you like this one, guys, as always, please feel free to give me a like. If you're new to the channel, I would love to have you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.